All right, guys, today we're going to do absolute value equations. We've done absolute value before in 7th grade, and those are just the bars that look like this. And it pretty much means how far away from 0 a number is, or we can simplify it by saying the positive of a number. For example, if I have the absolute value of -4, that's 4 spaces away from 0, so my answer is just 4. Or again, like I said, take the positive of the number. The only thing that can kind of be tricky is if they ask you the absolute value of a positive number. It's just there to confuse you. It's still 8 spaces away from 0, so therefore it's still just a positive 8. Okay? So now we're going to do some with equations. So when I have this equation right here, that's telling me that whatever's inside this box needs to be changed to a positive. So therefore, 2x plus 5 can equal 15, or technically, I'm going to break this up and say that 2x plus 5 can equal -15. It will be 2 different equations. So I'm going to break it up into 2 different equations, and I'm going to write 2x plus 5 equals 15, and 2x plus 5 equals -15. Now, as you can see, I've kind of erased where I've had to go back on this one, but we're going to go ahead and solve it. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I've got 2x equals 10, and I divide by 2 to get x equals 5, our basic 2-step equation. I have to solve this over here now. So I'm going to draw my line just like I normally do, and I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Remember, this time it's a -15, so -15 minus 5 is -20. These cancel out, and I'm left with 2x. That's 2 times x, so I divide by 2 on both sides to get x equals a -10. All right, now I have 2 options, so I say that my answer could be 5 or -10. Because if I was to fill this back in, a 5 would make that +15, and a -10 would make this -15. Whatever I get in here, it says to take the positives, so those will both make this equation true. We're going to try another one. X over 4 plus 7 equals 10. Practice it and try it ahead of me, and then check your work. All right. I'm going to go ahead and split it up into 2 different equations. So I've got x over 4 plus 7 equals 10, and x over 4 plus 7 equals -10. All right, I'm going to start with my first one here. I'm going to draw my line and -7 from both sides to get x over 4 equals 3. Over means divide, so I'm going to multiply by 4 on both sides. Those cancel out. Multiply by 4 over here, and I get x equals 12. That's my first one. Now my second one is just equal to -10. I'm showing the negative side, so I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides, and I'm left with x over 4 equals -17. Again, over means divide, so I multiply by 4 on both sides. And when I multiply -17 times 4, I get -84. So x equals -84. So, again, this one has 2 answers. The answers could be 12 or -84. All right. Now, this one is a little different. If the absolute value bars were around the 2 and the y, I would set this equal to 14 and -14. But because this is outside the absolute value bars, we're going to get rid of that first. So we're going to just divide both sides by 2. And I'm left with absolute value of y equals 7. Now I look at this absolute value of y, and I can say that I can set that equal to the positive and negative. So this still has 2 answers. My answers are going to be y equals 7 or -7. So these up here had 2 completely different equations. This one, because it was by itself, when I'm done, I want the positive and the negative. So kind of the same way here. I'm going to get rid of this -2 first by dividing by -2. on both sides. So I'm left with the absolute value of negative k equals negative 8 times negative 2 is going to give me a positive 4. Now, those absolute values, it does not matter that there's a negative inside there. The absolute value says in the end we're going to make that a positive number because it's 4 spaces away. So my answer is that k can equal 4 or negative 4 because both of those are 4 spaces away.